Hi guys, this is lesson 2.10. We are on page 124 over here, 124. Please put your finger on your learning targets. We have 2 of them today. Please number the first one number 1, your second learning target number 2. Number 1 says, you are going to organize research, notes, and ideas to prepare for writing. Number 2, write a conclusion for an expository essay. Please read these 2 learning targets to your shoulder partner now. Okay. Next, you have learning strategies. You're going to be outlining today and brainstorming. You're outlining your essay to explain how advertising affects teens. You're brainstorming how you can flesh that out into an essay. You do have to know academic vocabulary on the left. So the word is valid. It says facts and details in a text are valid when they support the claim a writer is making. Please read this definition to your shoulder partner now. Okay, you learned about the structure of an expository paragraph in activities 2.4 and 2.5. The characteristics of this writing mode must be expanded to create an expository essay so that each paragraph contains the following. So you need to put your finger on topic sentence. So, topic sentence. Please put your finger on topic sentence. It says, the topic sentence that presents a topic and the writer's claim or position about the topic in relation to the thesis. You definitely want to start with a topic sentence. In your book, please underline topic sentence. You need a topic sentence. Then you need transitions. We've talked about transitions before. You need to connect the ideas. For example, however, on the other hand, in the beginning, in conclusion, please circle transitions. You need transitions in your writing. The third one is supporting information that includes specific and relevant facts and details that are valid for the topic. Please put an asterisk next to this. You need to have valid information. What I mean by that is it needs to be something that supports your claim, but it also needs to be from a valid website. So you don't want to just pull it from Joe who lives down the street. It needs to be a valid site that gives relevant facts and details. Then you need commentary. So after your evidence, which is your support, you're going to write commentary. Commentary is when you say, this quote shows, this quote explains, this quote denotes, this quote. So you're going to use your power verbs on that other sheet that I gave you. So look at your power verbs for commentary. Under commentary, please, I'm going to have you put an exclamation point here because I want you to be looking at your power verbs, and I'm actually going to write a note right next to commentary. So on the side of your paper, if you could add that you need to have your power verbs. Commentary, you're using those power verbs off that sheet that I gave you. So for example, after every quote, you don't want to say this quote shows, this quote shows, this quote shows. Use different words like this quote displays, this quote portrays, this quote denotes. Okay, you're using these so that your writing does not become stale and boring. Okay? Then your concluding statement. Your concluding statement is the final piece of commentary. You want to sum it up with a transition like as a result, overall, in conclusion, that supports the explanation. The concluding sentence brings a sense of closure to the paragraph and essay. Please underline the concluding statement. Okay, so your essay today, for your outline, you're going to have a topic sentence, transitions, from going from one paragraph to another, supporting information, so you need to find a quote from somewhere in the Springboard book, and then you need to find a quote on research on your own. After each quote you have commentary. This explains how the detail is relevant to the topic sentence, and you need to use your power verbs in the front of your notebook. So this quote displays, or this quote portrays is a power verb, or this quote denotes is a power verb. Make sure you're using different ones throughout your essay. Your concluding statement, you need to basically sum up how ads affect teens and bring closure, end with a bang. So next, put your finger on outlining ideas. I am going to have you read the directions for outlining ideas, so just this little part right here. So you're starting here, or it says many writers find it helpful. You're starting here, and you are going to read this to your shoulder partner. Ready, set, reading. Okay, once you have read that, it basically breaks down to, you have your introduction, your thesis statement that answers the prompt on how ads affect teens. You have your body paragraphs with examples from the Springboard book and an example from research on your own, where you provide commentary like this quote shows, this quote portrays, this quote denotes. Then your concluding statement, you're summing up how ads affect teens overall, either from the documentaries, from the articles we read in the Springboard book, and then research on your own. So I am going to have you write this down on a piece of paper in just a second. I'm going to read you the first set of directions, and then I'll have you write it down where it starts getting gray. So it says, you are going to write an outline of your essay while fleshing out how advertisements affect youth. You need to use one piece of evidence from the Springboard book and one piece of evidence that you research on your own. You have your introduction. In your introduction, everybody write this down in your composition notebook. Intro, please write down, you need to start with your thesis. Here is an example thesis. It says, the role of advertising in the lives of youth is ... So possible ways to finish the completion of this sentence starter. This is just to create a thesis statement. So the role of advertising in the lives of youth is more significant than they realize, or the role of advertising in the lives of youth is that they are a major part of a company's effort to expand their markets, or is to drive youth to use their buying power to support the economy. Okay, so that's just the thesis statement. You have to have a statement saying how ads affect teens overall. Then you're going to add 2 to 3 sentences in the intro that discuss your main points on how advertising affects youth. So please write down, you need a thesis and then 2 to 3 sentences in the intro that discuss your main points. Oops. All right. Now we're going to move on. So you have your introduction paragraph. Then you have your body. Please write down body in your notebook. For your body, you need to write this, the quotation mark, evidence from Springboard book that answers your research question. So you need one piece of evidence from the Springboard book. And then you're going to put the author and the page number. Then you're going to say this quote shows. Okay, your second piece of evidence could be evidence from the Springboard book, or you do need evidence on your own. So you do need to research evidence that answers your research question, the author, the page number, and then this quote portrays. So you do need one piece of evidence from the Springboard book and one piece of evidence that you get on your own. So make sure you have one from Springboard, one from research on your own. You may have 2 from Springboard and 1 on your own. That is up to you. Then your conclusion. You are going to write a final statement that supports the thesis topic sentence. Bring a sense of closure by using transitions and explanations that follow from the essay's main points. Use a formal writing style. So you have your introduction, your body, and conclusion. I'm going to go back up here to the introduction. Here is the sample introduction. So if you didn't get that the first time, I'm going to pause it and please write that down. You need 2 to 3 sentences in the intro to discuss your main point. Your body with evidence, 1 piece from Springboard, 1 piece that you research on your own. You back it up with commentary. Then you have your conclusion. It needs to be a final statement with a sense of closure that brings the essay's main points together and ends with a bang in a formal style. Then at the very end, it says, based on your reading about the topic and the notes you have taken, what are the top 10 opinions or conclusions you have come to as a result of your reading and research? So you need to write the top 10 opinions that you have come to based on your research. So I'm going to number this. Please list 10 things. Yours can be in a list, but I need to see 10. So there's 4, 5, 6, you're writing 7, 8, 9, 10. Okay, so we have 10 things, your top opinions. Then the last thing, it is showing you how to write a conclusion, which I already explained, but I'll explain it one more time. You write a conclusion for an essay on the topic of advertising to young people. Be sure to write a final statement that supports the topic sentence. Bring a sense of closure by using transitions and explanations that follow from the essay's main points. Use a formal writing style. Okay, so I am going to let you get started. You are basically doing a rough draft or an outline of your essay. You have a thesis, 2 to 3 sentences with your main points. Then the body, you have evidence, 1 from Springboard, 1 from your own research. Your conclusion, you wrap it all up. All right, I'm going to let you guys get started. Ready, set, go.